Horrific start and then gets punted. Oh my God. Hello everybody and welcome along to the WTF1 alternative commentary for the Race All-Star Series. We've got Jenson Button on pole position. What a beast. My name's Matthew Gallagher and joining alongside me is encyclopedic beast and motorsport monster Tom Bellingham. How's it going?
I'm all right. That's a lot of pressure. I've got to get the facts out today.
You perform under pressure. So here we go. This is the grid for this normal starting order. So we'll have round one where essentially everyone qualifies. And then the second round will be a reverse grid race. We've got, of course, some amazing star-studded names on this grid. And, you know, you go down to 15th place and you see Tonio Liuzzi. You know, just a casual XF1 driver. But here we are on the grid. And it looks like someone's missing. There he is. Lovely. Who was that, P3 or P4? Not sure. Don't have a spotter's guide. But either way, Tommy, we're ready for the lights out.
Let's do this. JB on pole in a nice brawn livery.
Oh, I like that. Do you reckon he made it himself?
I very much doubt it.
Either way, we're waiting for the lights or the green flag, depending on how they decide to get going. At any point, there's a bit of smoke coming out of one of the cars, and it's lights out, and away we go. And there's someone already in the wall. Two people in the wall. Button gets a... Oh, no! Come on! Oh my goodness gracious me! These are supposed to be some of the greatest motorsport legends to ever grace the racetrack, but my God, they cannot go forward in a straight line, Tommy.
There's a bit of Spa 98, that was. And speaking of Spa...
But we continue racing.
Yeah, speaking of Spa 98, one driver that did manage to escape it all, just like Spa 98, was Jacques Villeneuve. From back of the grid to 9th, he's had a blinder.
Tommy's saucy facts coming out already, and Jacques Villeneuve on an Xbox controller, if I'm not mistaken.
That is true. What a heroic thing to do.
The unbelievable scenes. Jenson Button in the lead as we're now having a look at Jacques Villeneuve making a move with the Xbox controller.
Pad hacker.
F1 World Champion. What a beast. Thank you very much. This is obviously Jacques Villeneuve's debut into the esports arena, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And what a time to do it. It's just... Probably the most Jacques Villeneuve thing he could ever do is rock up with a laptop and an Xbox controller and apparently carve his way through the field from last up into 7th.
Unbelievable scenes. I mean, I've been an Xbox controller player in the past myself, but that is incredible, as that is Castro Neves.
Another one for
Villeneuve. Making a bit of a mistake. Villeneuve's like, thank you very much. I'll take P6. Everybody else just fall off the track. We're racing today around Sebring. Tommy, can you tell us something about that as we take a look at the start of the race? Oh, Lordy,
here we
what
go.
A start.
This is Jacques Villeneuve's start. So, ready for the carnage in front of us, and I assume he's going to avoid all of it. Oh, my whoa.
Does he... I'm not sure the audio matches up with how fast he was going there, but either way, he managed to pretty much escape that scot-free. But yeah, Jacques Villeneuve up into P6, Xbox controller. Tommy, can you tell us a saucy fact about Sebring, please, as we see a move by Darren Turner on Max Papis?
Sebring. Okay, so Sebring, this will be an advantage for the...
Oh,
he's
no,
off.
That's not an advantage for Max Papis, flying straight into the wall, but I believe damage is off, otherwise I think half the field would be out. Anyway, Tommy, Sebring, talk to me.
It's a regular on the IMSA calendar and American racing calendar, so there's a lot of sports car races there, so people like Jan Magnussen, Pirro, Montoya probably got a bit of an advantage as someone else goes off.
Backwards. That's Adrian Fernandez making a bit of a mistake. It's very bumpy, this track, by the looks of things.
It is.
And
it's well known for its...
Come on! Guys, you had so much space. Emerson
here we go again.
Oh, no.
I'm getting flashbacks of Vettel at Monza last year.
Of course, Emerson Fittipaldi, if you didn't see the first alternative commentary we did, 73 years old. What a hero, and he's not in last. That's the dream.
He's driving the car that he won the World Championship in, so he should have a bit of an advantage as well.
As someone else has just clattered a sponsor banner in the background there. Not a lot of clean racing going on, but Jenson Button out in front, a second ahead of Andy Prio, with Juan Pablo Montoya only half a second back on that. So quite close for the battle for the lead as we're watching Jan Magnussen and Dario Franchitti. Still feels very odd saying that these guys are racing on a sim, doesn't it?
Yeah, these two drivers will have had a good amount of experience around Sebring, I believe, racing a lot in America.
So now taking a look still at Jan Magnussen. Has he paid the broadcasters? Not sure, but here we are. A replay of Mika Salo sending it right up the chuff of whoever that was in front of him and then spinning out. So I'd say that's karma, if anything.
There's a lot of carnage on this opening lap. These cars, it's a new car for this race, the McLaren M23, and it looks just as difficult, if not more difficult, to drive than the Brabham that we had last week.
Yellow in sector 3 as we come flying
here
through,
we go.
and there's a car stricken in the middle of the track, and that was Castro Neves, I believe, who is not having a particularly good race so far, falling down the field from what was, I think, was about 6th position. So yeah, lots of carnage, which is what we've become accustomed to, as that's a send up the inside. Can Franchitti hold it? He can indeed, but Magnussen tries to get the switch back. Are they side by side? I think they are almost. And Magnussen back up the inside. Great little battle here.
Oh, what a move. He didn't back out there, Magnussen, and got it back. This is a nice little battle between these two. It's probably going to go on for the whole race because they look very similar paced. Obviously, both of them have won races in this Legends Trophy.
There you go. Tommy's... Oh, my goodness me. What is it about watching these guys race and someone in the background just spearing into a wall? It's brilliant. Oh, Jan Magnussen's even got his name on the rear wing there. That's a lovely little touch. At least, well, helpful for commentators anyway. Dario Franchitti now in the slipstream. Can he send it into, I believe, as a right-hander? But I'm not particularly familiar with this track either, to be honest. Tommy, have you raced around here on a sim?
I have, yeah. It was on Forza, when I used to play Forza Motorsport 3 and 4. It was a classic track on that. Very bumpy.
Montoya for second position, clipping the right rear wheel there, but managing to make it stick.
Sliding around that final corner. It's a very strange final corner. It's probably like the widest corner in the world, and you can just take multiple lines through it, really. It's a very odd one that there's essentially so much runoff, and it's just a very, very, very wide corner, as we'll probably see when Magnussen and Franchitti are coming through there now.
This track really does need some sort of resurfacing, doesn't it? It's struggling,
yes,
even on a sim.
They hosted an F1 race in 1959, and it looks like it hasn't really changed since.
They've just left it. It's even deteriorating on a sim. As we're watching, again, Magnussen Franchitti, what a fantastic battle they're having for 10th position. Going to have to check and see if any payment has been made to the directors, but I believe this is the closest battle, although Villeneuve and Brabham are very close for 7th place as well. Jacques Villeneuve still trying to hold on to what is a top half finish on an Xbox controller. Yeah. And looking at the result, well, not the results, the classification so far, Fittipaldi's still not in last.
Doing all right. He's 11th.
48 seconds.
Impressive.
Lovely.
He's got a nice 10-second cushion on Papis,
which can easily be thrown away in one corner, as we saw in the first episode of this alternative commentary for the race esports all-star battle. No DRS, of course. No F1 gimmicks. This is pure, unadulterated racing, as we see Jacques Villeneuve enter another car's rear wheel there, gaining a position. I don't know where that car went, if I'm being honest. Maybe that's it in the background. But Jacques Villeneuve not afraid to... Oh, as we go a little bit super speed there in the replay.
No wonder Jacques Villeneuve's doing so well if his car's that quick.
And we're still watching a replay here as David Brabham, I believe, is going to make the move at some point on Villeneuve. Here it is. This is a move for 7th place, but Jacques Villeneuve, F1 world champion, hanging it round the outside. But there's no grip on that, what I can only assume is sand. A little bit of a golf bunker by the looks of things, as this track is very much falling apart.
Yeah, and I cannot believe Jacques Villeneuve is essentially keeping it on the road. It must be so difficult to get traction with an Xbox controller keeping the throttle, because it looks like one slight blip of the throttle and you're just spinning off and you've put too much power down.
Quick look to the race leader, Jenson Button, 2.4 seconds ahead of Juan Pablo Montoya. Again, still feels very strange to say that out loud on a sim race. But either way, Jenson just
a bit of a throwback to early 2000s F1. Jenson Button and Montoya having a nice battle.
Oh yeah? Tell us something about the early 2000s involving Jenson Button and Juan Pablo Montoya. I'm putting you on the spot. Go, Tommy.
Oh, wow, that is a...
Come on. I want something from you. Think about it.
Well, Montoya actually replaced Jenson Button. He took Jenson Button's seat at Williams. So maybe there's a bit of beef there.
Spicy. Even after all these years, there's some spice between the two. But they are currently dominating this race out in front. And Jan Magnussen and Dario Franchitti cannot be separated on this final lap. And that's a send and a half on Tony Kanaan.
Is it?
No, he's been hit by... Wait, Dario Franchitti hit Tony Kanaan.
Oh, Kanaan.
And Magnussen's gone flying through as well. That was a send and a half.
These guys are having their own battle and they don't care who's getting in the way. They're still battling each other even with other cars in the way.
And here we go, Jenson Button round the final corner to win this fantastically dominating and quite well measured race from Jenson Button. It has to be said.
McGee in the background. Do you see that?
Oh, that's actually not the start-finish line, is it?
No, this is the this is the final corner.
I said it and I was like, nope, that's not it. This is the final corner. Jenson Button is going to take victory here. What a race. He was just not troubled at all. Juan Pablo Montoya, as you say, there might be some beef between the two. There probably isn't. But, spins off and smashes his front nose cone. So there is damage in these races. And Jenson Button takes the victory.
Impressive stuff. Again, very new to the sim racing and already on the pace. Here's Jack Villeneuve with his Xbox controller trying to hold on to P6.
Yeah, coming under some pressure as you saw Montero just bouncing over and over and over around that final corner, and he's going to come home in 7th place. Jacques Villeneuve, Xbox controller, from last pretty much to P6. What a drive. That is Jenson Button's front wing still getting clattered by every other driver on the grid, and there's a bit more mounting and small F1 cars being born as we watch it in the background. So yeah, what a race, Tommy.
What a race. And I've got a bit of bad news. I think Emerson Fittipaldi dropped out of P11 and bottled it on the last lap and fell all the way back down the order, I think.
No, don't tell me. We're waiting to see the second page of this leaderboard. As you see, Button, Montoya, Prio, the podium winners.
Jack Villeneuve, driver of the day, I think.
Sorry. Jacques Villeneuve, definitely driver of the day. Colton Herta in P4, David Brabham P5. You know, the usual suspects are near the front of the field in most of these races, it has to be said.
Look at that cone. Look at the cone on the fence.
How lovely.
Did that get kicked up and land on there?
It must be, unless someone has placed it on there. But there you go. Oh, we're back again.
Here we go.
Here we go. The second page. Emerson Fittipaldi, 16th. But not last. That's a victory for me.
Yeah, fair play to him.
Well, there you go. Thank you so much for watching this first race around Sebring. We're going to have a reverse grid race very shortly, so stay tuned for that.
Yeah, Pirro on pole. We know from the last race that Pirro provides plenty of action, so that should be interesting.
Find out very shortly. Hello everybody, welcome along to this reverse grid race around Sebring. It's the Race All-Star Esports Battle. I'm Matthew Gallagher, and joining me alongside is once again one of the cleverest men I've had the pleasure of sharing a bed with. It's Tommy Bellingham. How's it going, Tommy?
Oh, thank you, Matthew. That's quite the intro.
Have we shared a bed?
I don't believe so.
Shared a room?
Shared a room, I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't think we've shared a bed.
No, not yet. There's the cone again.
Me. There's the cone again with the big fat 0. What does that even mean? Does that mean that you've got 0 meters before the next corner?
I don't know. It's a very interesting marker board. Maybe the cone's there as well for a bit of extra like view to see where the braking zone is.
And here we go, the grid for this reverse grid race that we got Emmanuel Pirro on pole position, Gilles de Ferran in second, Emerson Fittipaldi P3 actually in the end. Interesting, because he finished 16th out of 20, I think. Either way, I actually read that as Michael Jordan in P5. Don't think that's quite. Can you tell us a little bit about Michel Jourdain?
Michel Jourdain, he's was an IndyCar driver, I believe, and
nice.
no relation to Michael Jordan from the legendary Space Jam film.
Darren Turner in P10 has his own sim company. I will constantly, every single time, mention that when he's doing badly.
That's your fact.
No excuses. That is one of my facts. It's where I had that Esteban Ocon training back in 2017 on his simulator. Wonderful stuff. Anyway, back to the grid. Juan Pablo Montoya, P15. And Jenson Button, P16. Here we go. We are waiting for... I literally have no real indication as to when the lights go out. There's not even a green flag. I think it's behind the leaderboard. But either way, we await with great anticipation for this reverse grid, the Race All-Star Esports battle. Here we go, lights out, and Gilles de Ferran gets an absolutely horrific start and then gets punted. Oh my God! There are about 4 cars unscathed coming out of not even the first corner down the straight. What is everybody doing? Who are the big winners and losers here? Obviously, Piro's still in first position. Jacques Villeneuve up to P8 on the Xbox controller, and Dario Franchitti making a move for P4.
Jacques Villeneuve, he cannot be stopped. No matter what carnage is in front of him, he makes it through.
Our last race winner, Jenson Button. I don't know why it was Jenson. Jenson Button is up to P9, just behind Jacques Villeneuve, in fact. Ooh. So he's making up some brilliant moves. Gilles de Ferran P7 after that woeful start from P2. Gaston Neves up to P2 now as we take a look at Juan Pablo Montoya all over the back of Thiago Montero. Surely this is going to be a move into this next right-hander. Oh, much later on the brakes. Can he get it stopped? Yes, he can. Juan Pablo Montoya P12. Do they have any history, Tommy?
Not really. They did. Obviously, Thiago Montero is most well known for his podium in the 2005 US Grand Prix, which everyone came into the pit lane and retired, and he very much milked his chance of glory. I mean, fair play to him, you would, wouldn't you?
Absolutely. Montoya ahead of Mika Salo now as well, up into P11. He is making some serious moves
Mika
here on this
Salo
first lap.
Going at the inside there, that was tasty.
I'm pretty sure he was defending Tommy, but either way, we continue. Max Papis trying to defend from Dario Franchitti, who is a man on a mission. Oh, well, yeah, absolutely punts him off as well. Up to P3. There are no stewards here, as that is Gilles de Ferran. He may as well just park it up. He has had one of the worst first laps in Grand Prix history.
He's doing some donuts on the grass.
It's not the end of the race, Gilles. It's my God! What is going on at the back there? There is some serious mounting.
I think that was Montoya.
Darren Turner's
I'm sure
been
it was
involved
Montoya.
as well.
I'm pretty sure
Montoya's been involved. Turner's been involved. Unbelievable scene. Sebastian Prio. I believe that's still Andy Prio.
Yeah.
But it's just a bit of confusion with the name because of whose account it is fighting Max Papis for P4 at the moment. Jacques Villeneuve up to P6. Once again, what a solid drive from the Xbox controller man. But out in front, Piro, he's not being stopped. Mainly because everybody crashed into each other, but still...
Exactly.
He's
got no one to lunge and punt into this time. Oh, here we go.
Oh, my goodness me. That, ladies and gentlemen, is how baby F1 cars are born.
Montoya's doing a bit of breakdancing there.
Love to see those replays, as yellow in Sector 1 usually means someone's getting mounted. Jan Magnussen, I don't think he's ever been in any other position than 10th so far. Every time I've commentated on him, it's been about P10 fighting Franchitti, but he's defending from David Brabham this time. And that's a little bit of a nudge. But that's okay. That's fine. You know, that's rubbing is racing and all that.
Yeah, these cars are a bit more robust than the F1 cars of today. So you get away with a bit of a punt.
Turner and Montoya, 15th and 16th. They are going to be kicking themselves after whatever happened on that first lap. I don't think anyone will ever really be able to explain that. Jenson Button, the winner from last time out, as I mentioned, is now going up the inside of Jacques Villeneuve, but cannot get through. Feisty defending, as you would imagine, from the feisty man himself, Jacques Villeneuve.
Yeah, former BAR teammates. So much history on this grid between certain
Max
drivers.
Papp is very slow going round that right-hander, and it could be 3 abreast. No, instead Jacques Villeneuve crashes straight into the back of him. Just says, get out the way. That's not going to give me damage. His front wing still looks intact, which is nice. Where is Jenson Button in all of this? There he is.
No, that's Villeneuve.
Oh, no, we were on board with Jenson Button.
Jenson Button was the one that
confusing
punted, just punted Papis out the way. I think he thought he had a Mario Kart star and he could just drive through him.
Bit of bump drafting there.
Yeah.
Either way, that was poor form from me, expecting that from Jacques Villeneuve, when in fact he was the clean one and all of that.
I cannot believe Jacques Villeneuve is doing so well on an Xbox controller, and he is holding people off. He's not just made it through the pack, got a bit lucky and carried on. He's holding it to the race winner of the first race.
Yeah, 2 F1 world champions going hammer and tong around this Sebring circuit. And Jacques Villeneuve, as you say, very much holding his own. How much longer can he hold his own for, though, as they go side by side? Jenson Button has the inside line for this next corner. Surely he's going to make the move. And there it is. Jenson up into P5. And he is gaining some serious points this weekend in this McLaren M23. I don't think Jacques will be able to hold on, but still, P6, I'm sure he'll be happy with that.
Yeah, more than happy. And both Jenson and Jack have sort of made it through the Carnage. Button obviously started last, having won the first race, and already up into 5th in 3 laps.
That is pretty good going, but also just avoid the Carnage and you'll end up somewhere in the top 6. That's what we've learnt so far in this series. Montoya's out of the race, as you can see on your leaderboards. Yellow in Sector 1. That's probably 7 cars upside down, if that's anything we've seen before.
Yeah,
And again, another yellow. And here's a replay. This may be the reason. Oh no, this is the move. Jacques Villeneuve versus Jenson Button.
Great camera, that.
Lovely little camera. And there you have it. Simple as you like. Unfortunately, Jenson Button around 12 seconds behind the leader, so don't think he's going to be able to make a huge charge to win this one, but still, P5, he'll be happy that his car's in one piece.
I mean, anything can happen. Remember Montreal 2011. Never count him out.
Well, he's 9 seconds behind Pirot now, and Pirot, well, he finished last in the first race, so potentially doesn't have as much pace as Jenson. As we see Montero sending it and sliding, and can he miss the wall? He can, but Emerson Fittipaldi, he got back up the inside and then went off to Narnia.
Yeah,
and Montero takes the position again.
That's a great example of how wide the final turn is, that you can go all the way to the outside, cut back in, and because there's 2 very different lines, he still managed to make the move stick.
Darren Turner also out of this race. P15. 2 of the hot shots, you have to say, in this series in terms of sim experience, because Darren Turner owns his own sim company. Did you know?
I didn't know that. Thanks for letting me know.
You'd expect some big results from those 2, as Montero, you can see, gets all out of shape, but has the nice inside line, as I think Fittipaldi gets a little bit out of shape on the outside. And then into turn 1, I think Fittipaldi just about lets him through. Yeah, takes the racing line and continues on his merry way.
Who have we got here? Priau chasing Franchitti. Franchitti's been in a lot of battles today.
He has. In the first race with Jan Magnussen, and now for the final podium position against Andy Priau. Jan Magnussen.
Yeah, another one in a lot of battles today. Jan Magnussen seems to be always battling another car.
Oh no, that's the Sebring sign. Somehow, I have to say, he's still ahead. But Max Papis just about manages to hold on. I feel like Max doesn't particularly have much pace, but everyone else just seems to crash or make huge errors. And Max Papis is like, thanks, I'll take a 9th, I'll take a 10th.
Yeah, Magnussen's got the move done even before the final turn, unless Papis, no, he's got it done.
Easy as you like. Pirot still 3 seconds out in front. It looks like he's going to take the victory here as we start the final lap. Castro Neves facing the right way this time after having a poor race 1. And can Andy Priau do anything about Dario Franchitti and that final podium position? It doesn't look like he's close enough as we are coming towards the final few corners. But fair play to Pirot. It has to be said. Unbelievable scenes. Finishes last in the first race and he wins the second one.
It's a bit of a shame, though, because Pirot was the one that provided the most entertainment last week, and we've barely seen him, even though he's probably going to come through and win this race. We've not seen him once, I don't think.
He's probably been dive bombing thin air.
Yeah.
If the first races have anything to go by, as Andy Priau is pushing so hard to try and catch Franchitti, but it doesn't look like it's going to be enough, as David Brabham now smelling a 9th position from Papis. Quite a lot of this circuit is single file, but there are a few braking zones like this one here where they can just send it, can't they?
Yeah, it's a decent track for overtaking. There's a lot of chicanes, but because these cars are so difficult to drive, you do get a lot of overtaking. Here's Pirot.
There you go.
Not the final.
Pirot.
Not the final straight.
This is the last couple of corners before Emmanuel Pirot takes his first win in this series. It's been a dominant drive. Casual, easy.
Easy as you
Not
like.
really any... The only real problem for him has been the bumps as he comes over the line and wins emphatically ahead of Helio Castroneves and Dario Franchitti taking P3.
Great podium, that.
Jenson Button only 4 seconds off at the end. He was flying.
Would love to have seen another 5 laps to see if Button could have made it to the front. You never know.
I reckon he would have, as Jacques Villeneuve, P6. Did I mention he's on an Xbox controller? Well, there you go.
2 6th places for Villeneuve on his debut. Impressive stuff.
Everyone, I'm pretty sure most other drivers, if not all of them, are on simulators, aren't they?
I believe so, yeah. Pirro is actually on quite an old Logitech wheel, so... Oh,
that could have been nasty.
bit of punting going
that's
on
the
at
end
the
of
end.
the race.
Here's Michael Jordan finishing up.
Great basketball player and great on the sim as well. So there you have it. There is the final standings. Pirro, Castroneves, Franchitti are top 3. Andy Priaulx just missing out. And Jenson Button, what a drive from the back of the grid to P5. Jacques Villeneuve again. We've been very much praising him for his incredible drives. And another P6 for him. Mika Salo finishing P7. Jan Magnussen, David Brabham and Max Papis rounding out the top 10. Tommy, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. What was your one standout highlight moment from either one of the races?
Oh, it's got to be either to be honest, Jacques Villeneuve just avoiding the start carnage with an Xbox controller. Incredible scenes. And I'm hoping he comes back next week because I want to see that again.
Mine was Montoya being upside down. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And we'll see you next time for this WTF1 alternative commentary. Bye-bye.
Goodbye from us and the cone.
And the 0.